Hi, this is Emily the Audi Nerd, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at a 2022 Audi SQ5. The Audi SQ5 has Audi's 3-liter V6 turbocharged engine with 349 horsepower and 369 foot-pound of torque. The Audi SQ5 comes standard with the 8-speed transmission and Audi's all-wheel drive system, which we all know as Quattro. The 0 to 60 time is 4.7 seconds, and it gets 19 mpg in the city, 24 on the highway, with a combined mpg of 21. This Audi SQ5 is jam-packed with tons of safety features. My favorite one, however, is if you come a little closer, you can see this front-facing camera right here, and it pairs with the cameras on the mirrors and on the back, so you can see a full 360 surround view camera, so that if you're backing it in or pulling into a tight parking space, you can see all the way around. This car also has all of the safety features and the sensors along the side. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way around. And then you have the laser cruise control or the adaptive cruise control. There's one sensor here, there's one sensor on the other side, and then there's the one up in the windshield. Now this SQ5 is in one of my favorite color combinations, which is fluorescent silver with black optics. I love the contrast of the two colors. I like how it's silver and metallic and not just quite as stark as the black on white, but I love how they put this together. So now let's go take a look at the wheels. The SQ5 is one of the few vehicles that comes standard with 20-inch wheels. Big thing to note with that is the MPG ratings are with 20-inch wheels. So if you get the black optics package, it comes with the 5V design wheels, which you'll see right here. And there is a no-cost option for if you're living here in the north like we are in Minnesota for all-season tires. Please note that for all-season tires, it lowers the top track speed from 155 miles per hour down to 130 miles per hour. These wheels on the black optics package are pretty cool. Come in a little bit closer and I can show you some of the details. They did a really nice job with the two different contrasting colors, and right here by the valve stem, we've got the Audi Sport logo, which gives it an even more sporty feel. The SQ5 has a 6-piston caliper with 13.8-inch brakes. Now one thing to note is you may be seeing that this has black calipers on it, and most SQ5s have red brake calipers. Red brake calipers come from the S Sport package, and what's included in the S Sport package is the red brake calipers, the adaptive chassis package, which gives the air ride suspension where you can adjust the height and lower it, and it also gives you the rear sport differential. This one in particular does not have that package. However, I do have a video here so you can see what it looks like going up and all the way down. I had to do this angle one more time so you can get another gorgeous view of the fluorescent silver. Something to note is most company silver is really flat and is not actually this metallic. This car, the video is not going to do it justice. I can't capture how gorgeous this is. If you live closer to an Audi dealership, go ask to see fluorescent silver, and before you order your car, consider this really cool color. But now I'm going to highlight some of the black optics features along the side. So since it's because it has black optics, it's going to have the black door surrounds all the way around, the black mirror caps, the black roof rails, which we'll see up here, and as you back up, you can kind of see the look, two different stark, but that they complement each other so nicely. The SQ5 comes standard with full LED taillights and headlights, which you can see this is the standard view. There is the option for the OLED taillights on the Prestige, which I have a video which I'll overlay here. In this design, you can see how the matrix goes all the way in and out when you unlock the vehicle. The other cool thing, which I didn't get a chance to do on this car because it was sold, is because you can change the different designs. There are 3 different designs, and when I have another Prestige SQ5 in, I will definitely show you guys. So continuing with the black optics back here on the trunk, you notice the bar back here is now completely black, and we option this with the black rings and badges to give that even more contrasted look. The cool thing with this one is if you notice and come down a little bit closer, it has real pipe-through exhaust tips. I made a video a couple of weeks ago demonstrating what the different sounds were, and I'll link that down here, but so you can see if you're wondering what the regular sound is versus the full pipe-through. But this is an option that most cars do not have on it. It's a $1,400 option, but I love that we still have the option to have real exhaust pipes if we want them. And of course, the SQ5 will have the kick-to-release power tailgate, kicking just to the right of the license plate and backing up. And just like that, it'll open up for you. The tailgate is also power adjustable, which I've demonstrated in other videos. Let's say this is too high for you and you wanted it more like here, and this is a more comfortable height. What you'll do is press and hold on this button, and then that little sound will let you know that it has set at this height. If you want to reset the height, simply push up evenly and gently all the way back up to max height. And once you've reached that, press and hold again. And that's how you know it's been set back to the max height. The SQ5, just like every other Audi, has tons of cargo room, tons of usability features like the privacy screen, which is an option, but underneath that, the biggest thing to show you are these LED lights back here, which allows you to have tons of visibility back here, and there's even the clips along the side, so you can mount in anything you want. There's little side pockets, and then underneath, that's where you will find your spare tire and your subwoofer. If you want more details on exactly the specifications of how much room there is back here, the length, the width, the height, everything, I made a really good video on the Q5 and the Q5 Sportback, just in case you're considering both. Check that out. I'll link it down here for you so you can take a look at it. The Q5 and the SQ5 come standard with the roof racks right here, which come as a no-cost option. They'll be found in the trunk of every SQ5. Now, before we move on from the trunk, let's kick to close. Now let's hop in the back seat and see how I fit back here. As we've done in other videos, the front seat is adjusted for my husband, who's a little bit over 6 feet tall, and I'm 5'5"3/4", so I can hop back here. And actually, I didn't even really need to duck my head, but I have plenty of room. I'd say about 5 to 6 inches in front of my knees, and I'd say almost a whole hand on top of my head. The big thing with that is there is the Panoramic Sunroof, which you can see the shade is closed right here, but that allows for some extra room up top. There's a couple of design elements I want to highlight on the SQ5. First, this carbon trim that actually comes standard. You can see it all along here, and there's other pieces on the interior. Normally that's a $500 option. Even on some RS cars it's an option. Coming down a little bit, something that's a port installed accessory are these beam rings right down here, and this is in the shape of the S since it's an SQ5. Moving on from that, there's actually the S door sills right here, which are illuminated. This SQ5 was optioned with the fine apple leather interior. I love how this looks, especially with the gray contrasted stitching with the silver exterior. And I love the S embossing up on the top as well. I love how that looks, and I love the quilted stitching for all of the S cars. Moving along over to the steering wheel, the steering wheel gets the air leather, which you can see is the perforation. The steering wheel is only offered in a round steering wheel since it does come standard with the heated steering wheel when you get a convenience package or above. On the steering wheel column, there is the power adjustment. Now in the interior of the SQ5, there's a couple of features I'm going to go over. First of all, I wanted to highlight how the SQ5 comes standard with the black headliner up here. And then if I open the shade, you can see the full panoramic sunroof. And if you get anything with a Premium Plus or above, that part comes standard. The panoramic sunroof is an option on the convenience package one as well. Now moving on to the virtual cockpit. The virtual cockpit comes on a Premium Plus and above. The cool thing about the virtual cockpit is it's completely customizable. We are currently in the S Performance design, where if I click this view button, you can see what is more of a boomerang style. I personally like to call this a boomerang style, but it's called the S Performance design in the MMI. There are a couple of different options for different configurations of where you can have it. This one is called Regular Sport, or the Classic Sport we're very used to. It gives it the two big different dials, and if you press the view button, you can make them smaller. There's also one more option, which is called Dynamic. Dynamic is pretty self-explanatory. It gives it a very dynamic line if you want to have the big or small, where you can see your tachometer over here and your speed on this side right over here. The cool thing about this is it doesn't just have to show the map in the center. You can press this arrow here and toggle through any of the different options, scrolling down using the scroll wheel over on the left to see anything in the center. You can also see things like, well, I need some gas. You can also see your radio stations, your phone, and back to your navigation. The SQ5 has the option for the heated steering wheel, but before you had to go to a cold weather package, where now it comes on a convenience package and above. The heated steering wheel button is located right here on the steering wheel. Simply press to activate. You do have the button to answer your phone calls, to talk to Siri or Google or the car. This is your volume wheel right along here. You can skip tracks or radio stations. And then moving back under here, you have your cruise control stalk. Pull forward to turn it on, press set on the end of the stalk to engage, and then there's the distance meter right along here where you can adjust the distance for your adaptive cruise control. The HVAC system is super user-friendly and very easy to use. You have your different temperature dials, hot to this side like the red, cold down to this side like the blue. You have your heated seats, which come standard on the SQ5. This little black dot, if you come in a little bit closer, you can see it right here. This black dot is not actually a button. It is the interior temperature sensor. A lot of people ask me that question, so I always love to debunk the other theories. Moving on from that, you have all of your different hot buttons, which are touch sensitive, so you can decide where you want everything. Currently, we have it all in auto, which is by clicking on and off of auto. Otherwise, you can adjust exactly where the fan speed is coming from. If you want your AC on, off, or max, your different fan speeds, syncing the different temperatures, or let's say I wanted to just set the rear, I could select that, and I could set the rear temperatures just by turning the dials. There are two different ways you can access the drive select. Simply press any of these buttons down here and come up to the top. That's where you can easily adjust any of the drive select options. You have off-road, comfort, auto, dynamic, which is sport mode, or individual, which is customizable, where you can go in and adjust exactly what you want it to be. The other way of finding this is going into the vehicle settings and clicking drive select. Now the carbon fiber, which I mentioned earlier, goes across the entire dashboard, which gives it a really cool look, and it's almost 3D. Something that most of you might not know is the compass that comes part of the mirror is able to be turned off or turned on. So coming up to the frameless auto dimming mirror, which I absolutely love on all of the Audis, you have your compass up here, but let's say you don't want the compass, you can simply press and hold, and then it turns the compass off. Or maybe you have this car and you bought it used and you had no idea that it had the ability for the compass, you want it to turn back on, press and hold, and just like that, you've got your compass. Thanks for watching my video on this SQ5. I love making videos on cars that I truly appreciate myself, like this silver black optic SQ5. I will link the other videos that I mentioned in this video down in the description if you missed clicking on them. Thanks for watching. If you have any other suggestions of videos, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.